Now, was it a point gained or 2 points dropped? Well, even those involved couldn't make up their minds, but given where Everton almost found themselves at half-time at the King Power Stadium, and if you've forgotten they were on the verge of going 3-1 down, then at least a share of the spoils keeps them within touching distance of their rivals for Premier League survival. Now, the margins are tight in the battle for the bottom, but following a weekend in which those immediately above them failed to pull further clear, this was a must-not-lose for the Blues to prevent the Foxes from opening up a 4-point cushion on them. It was another big comeback from Everton to add to the 2-2 draw at Chelsea and the 1-1 draw at home to Spurs, but if they're going to survive, then at some point soon, these share of the spoils must turn into victories. A new manager bounce saw Sean Dyche pick up 3 wins from his first 7 matches, the same total that Frank Lampard had achieved in 20 matches before the season. But the stark truth is, right now, the Blues have only beaten an opponent once in their last 11 games, when they took the lead against Brentford within the first minute and clung on for the 90+ that followed. Given Everton's poor form on the road, their current run of 15 fixtures without victory is the longest sequence in almost 43 years. Any points picked up on the travels must be gratefully received in these troubling times. But if the Blues are to avoid the drop, then there needs to be a change between now and the end of the month. Dyche keeps pointing out that he inherited a long-standing issue with Everton's travel sickness, which is correct, given that their paltry 3 away wins since crowd came back en masse at the start of the 2021-22 season, and just 1 this season at rock bottom Southampton, is by far the lowest total of the 17 Premier League clubs to have competed in the competition over both subsequent seasons. But Dyche himself has only achieved 1 away win in 21 matches over the same period. Along with the 2-1 comeback at St Mary's back in October, one of these trio of away successes for the Blues came in their 2-1 win in the corresponding fixture with Leicester City last season. But the third, well, we have to go all the way back to August 28th, 2021, when goals from Damari Gray and a Dominic Calvert-Lewin penalty secured a 2-0 success at Brighton for Rafa Benitez's side. Now, not only is a trip to the Seagulls next up for Everton, but they're also the only opponent that Dyche has beaten on the road over this time. A 3-0 victory with Burnley on the South Coast back in February 19th last year. Looking ahead to the trip to Leicester, Dyche admitted that the stakes were high, but also acknowledged that they should be at a club like Everton. And this is where things differ from the manager and various players in the squad who've experienced relegation at previous clubs, of which there were 7 in the starting lineup in the previous match against Newcastle United. Having worked well on a shoestring with the Clarets for almost a decade, Dyche will believe he deserves the chance to work on a bigger stage, but he'll also now realise that expectation levels are quite rightly much higher at Goodison Park than at Turf Moor. At the start of last season, one of those such players, Ben Godfrey, who joined the Blues from Norwich City, said, "I don't want to be disrespectful to my past clubs, but when I think you get promoted from the Championship and you get in the Premier League, there's not that massive expectation on you to perform and win games. But when I came to Everton, I realised we better win today, we need to win here, and we're expected to." It's nice to have that, to be honest. Right now, there's not much that's very nice at all about Everton's situation, but while there were encouraging signs from the performance to take from the trip to the East Midlands, the need to start winning is greater now than ever before.